Hi, if you ever wondered what actually is AWS infrastructure or how does stuff run in the cloud, you're in the right spot. Today, we're gonna break down AWS infrastructure. No buzzwords, no overload, just a clear look at how Amazon runs the cloud. Grab a coffee and let's dive in. First thing first, what is AWS? Amazon Web Services is basically Amazon's giant toolbox for the internet. It's how companies host websites, apps, data, video games, AI models. Now, when people say cloud, they're not talking about actual fluffy clouds. It's just a cool name for data centers all around the world that you can use remotely. You're basically renting someone else's super powerful computer and only paying for what you use. Think of it like electricity. You don't build a power plant, you just plug into the grid. That's AWS. Let's zoom into how AWS is structured physically. Regions. A region is a big area like US East or Europe London. It's basically a group of data centers located in one general part of the world. Why multiple regions? Well, two big reasons. Latency, you want your apps close to your users so it runs faster. Redundancy, if one region goes down, rare but possible, others are there to back you up. Availability zones. Inside the region, you have availability zones, usually 2 or 3, sometimes more. Each AZ is basically a separate data center with its own power, cooling, and network. So when you run something important on AWS, you can spread it across multiple AZs. That way, if one goes dark, like power outage or hardware fail, your app keeps humming. VPC, or Virtual Private Cloud. Imagine AWS gives you a slice of their global infrastructure, your own little private island in the cloud. That's a VPC. Inside your VPC, you decide what your network looks like, subnets, IPs, gateways, which servers talk to the internet, and who gets access. You get control like you would in an on-premise data center, but without worrying about hardware, routers, or physical cables. Let's meet the stars of the AWS show, the services you will actually use. 1. Compute. Running stuff. This is basically the engine behind your app. The go-to service here is EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud. Think of it like renting a computer in the cloud. Pick how powerful you want it, what OS you want, Linux, Windows, or how long you need it. If you don't want to manage servers at all, use AWS Lambda. Just upload your code and it runs automatically when needed. No servers, no setup. Super handy for small apps, APIs, or automation. Storage. Storing your files, backups, logs, media. The hero here is S3. Simple storage service. It's cheap, scalable, and used by literally everyone. Upload a file and it's safe, backup and accessible when you need it. For more structured storage, like hard drives connected to your virtual servers, AWS gives you EBS, Elastic Block Store. Database. You need somewhere to store user data, transactions, products, etc. AWS gives you choices. RDS, Relational Database Service, for traditional databases like MySQL, Postgres, or Oracle. It handles backups, updates, scaling, all the heavy lifting. Want something ultra-fast and flexible? Try DynamoDB, AWS fully managed NoSQL database, perfect for real-time apps and microservices. Now that your services are running, you need them to talk to each other and to the internet. Your VPC, Virtual Private Cloud, is your own private network, like your own little data center inside AWS. Security groups act like firewalls. Route tables manage traffic path, and load balancers help distribute traffic so no single server gets overwhelmed. Want to connect different AWS accounts or even different regions? You can use VPC peering or transit gateway. Finally, none of this matters if it's not secure. IAM, Identity and Access Management, is where you control who can do what. You can create users, roles, and define super fine-grained permissions. AWS also gives you KMS, Key Management Service, to manage encryption keys, Secrets Manager to store credentials securely, and CloudTrail to log every action across your account. Why is this all important? Because AWS infrastructure is what makes your Netflix stream smoothly, your banking app stay secure, and your startup scale from 10 users to 10 million without sweating. Once you understand these concepts, you're not longer just a user, you're a builder. Whether you're coding apps, managing system, or launching a business, AWS gives you the backbone. That's a wrap on AWS infrastructure concepts. From global regions to your own virtual private island, you now know the basics of what makes the cloud run. If you want to go deeper, like how to actually build a full architecture or deploy a serverless app, hit that like button and stick around for the next video. And hey, feel free to drop questions in the comments. See you in the cloud!